All right, guys, how's it going? So in this video, we're going to be talking about some claims that were made by David Ornstein yesterday at The Athletic. David Ornstein is someone that we do pay attention to regarding Liverpool club matters, especially if they're anything to do with FSG or the ownership. So The Athletic published this transfer special yesterday as to what might happen with key players around Europe, and David Ornstein was in there and some of his colleagues as well. Now, the thing is, some so-called Liverpool FC content creators and so-called fans used some of these quotes but omitted context, right? So I did the video about it last night, fake news. It says fake news, David Ornstein quotes or something. You'd have to look at it. And it would explain to you. Take a look if you want. I'll see if I can remember what they were when I go through this. So rather than focus on just little bits here and there, we're going to take a look at everything of importance that Ornstein and his colleagues said that may have touched on Liverpool Football Club, and with the context as well, all right? I've got this back again. I wonder if it's because I was on a flight the other day. I don't know, but dreading. I hope I'm not getting that thing again, man. I had it for about 5 weeks last time. Okay, Martin Zubimendi, and this is Ornstein talking about this. He said multiple well-placed sources believe Martin Zubimendi is now coming to terms with the idea of leaving Real Sociedad and anticipate that happening next summer. Some around the situation are less sure. They think in the end Zubimendi will change his mind and ultimately opt to stay, as we have seen before. But most recent conversations suggest things are different on this occasion, and that with time for him and Real Sociedad to prepare rather than rush a decision, he will depart. Liverpool's attempts to land Zubimendi in the last window did not come to fruition, while Arsenal are also among multiple long-term admirers. There have been suggestions Manchester City could go from in January to help cover the loss of Rodri, but if an exit is to materialise, it is anticipated that would more likely occur at the end of the season, and I would agree with that. On Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ornstein said his situation is among the most high-profile in the market, owing to his quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure, and contractual status. It is unusual for someone so young, good, and heavily associated with a team, especially one of Liverpool's stature, to be so close to the end of their terms. The England international has shown firm loyalty to Liverpool, and they are working hard to keep him, but so far there has been no breakthrough in talks. That has fueled interest from elsewhere, and Real Madrid's admiration is well documented. Big decisions need to be made by all sides, and the clock is ticking. From January the 1st, he can sign a pre-contract agreement with clubs from foreign leagues. Liverpool do not want to lose such a key figure, but they will need to do what it takes to meet his wishes. At the same, I don't know, meet his wishes. I mean, offer him a sensible contract. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Fucking don't break the bank. At the same time, suitors will try to entice him to leave. So it's a live, ongoing situation that must be decided in 2025 or sooner. As things stand, we still lack a clear picture of the outcome. Now, on Mo Salah, it switches over to James Pearce and Simon Hughes. Remember, Simon Hughes was the journalist the other day that ran the article about Mo Salah being, willing to take a one-year contract extension. Simon Hughes wrote wrote a Mo Salah biography. James Pearce, has been on the scene for years. Neither are as important in terms of reporting Liverpool Football Club as Ornstein is. But again, Simon Hughes has got very good connections to the Salah camp, which is unique. So you might want to pay attention to things he says, or certainly if he publishes something, always go into it thinking this is probably coming from them, right? So I don't know what's said here. I did look at it yesterday, but I can't remember. On Mo Salah, they said his future remains uncertain with his contract expiring at the end of the season. They include a quote which you've heard before from Salah. As reported by the Athletic, which was Simon Hughes, Salah would accept a new one-year contract, but is growing increasingly exasperated at the club's handling of negotiations. What that means is they're not giving him what he wants, or Rami Abbas what he wants. Liverpool in full control, in my opinion, with regards to negotiations at the present time. Salah's preference is to stay at Anfield, but he wants a new deal that recognises his enduring status as one of the best players in the world. He's been linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League. Liverpool turned down £150 million bid from Al Ittihad in 2023, but he intends to keep playing at the highest level in Europe. Well, then if he does, he's going to have to find someone that will pay those wages, and I don't think there's anyone other than Liverpool that will offer him a lucrative deal in Europe, as lucrative as what we are offering. It's obvious Liverpool are going to be offering him a really good deal, right? They might want to try and make out that PSG are interested. I don't think they are. Who else is going to pay Mo Salah in Europe the kind of salary that he would be commanded? So I think Liverpool wins this. His deal is worth in excess of 350 grand a week plus bonuses. Liverpool want to keep him but insist the financial framework of an extension has to make sense for them given his age. It does, but I also think that there does have to be some loyalty in there for, but wait, this is what you've done for us. So maybe you do go a little bit, more above where you would do, but maybe that is the case. We're not privy to this. We can't pretend to know what's happening. Nobody can do that. But I think Liverpool, this is why it's dragging out so long. You've got Rami Abbas, he's a bit of a knob. But at the end of the day, he's looking out for his client. I just think he's powerless at the moment, Rami Abbas. I did a video on it yesterday. Something to do with in the title was Rami Abbas or Salah agent losing negotiation or whatever. Watch that, it would rather than me repeat it all again. Nico Williams, I found this one quite funny actually. This is one of those that was spliced up by content creators and left out all the other clubs and only mentioned Liverpool. David Ornstein on Nico Williams. Last summer there was major interest in the Premier League, but Nico Williams' heart was set on joining Barcelona. He waited for them, and when that did not materialise, he decided to remain at Athletic Club. Now it appears Barcelona, with Rafinha and Lamine Yamal, doing well, are not there for him, which increases the chances of a Premier League switch, and he is more open to that than previously. There's a release clause of around £46 million, and Athletic will only sell if that gets activated. So the fact is, his contract ends in 2027. The fact that his contract ends in 2027 is irrelevant. He earns a high salary, but the clause is fairly low for a player of his level. So it's probable he will move in 2025. The bigger question is whether it will be in January or at the end of the season. He would prefer not to move in the winter market, but you never know. Now, this is the bit that was played with by these content creators, these amateurs, and the ones that do want to deliberately mislead you. They left out this, and this was the quote yesterday. Either way, the likes of Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham are among those who hold a long-standing admiration. The amateurs, the people that want to mislead you yesterday said Liverpool are among those who hold a strong standing admiration, made it sound stronger than it actually is. There is obviously multiple clubs involved. Again, I did a video on this yesterday titled Fake News if you want to get my thoughts more so about that. Jonathan David, this is Ornstein. He stands to be one of the most sought-after free agents in the market next summer. He has an offer from Lille to renew his contract before it expires in June. He has not communicated his final decision, but is expected to move on. His representatives are listening to proposals and setting out expectations for interested parties. There are potential opportunities in the Premier League, but the financial package is also important. Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea and Aston Villa are among the sides who rate him, but Juventus, Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid also hold an admiration. Bayern Munich's board member for sport, Max Eberl, retains a long-term fondness for David, but it is unclear if they are looking for a centre-forward. And again, that was David Ornstein. Liverpool mentioned in there, but mentioned in there with other clubs as well. On Levi Colwill, Simon Johnson, Chelsea have grown accustomed to clubs showing a strong interest in Levi Colwill and should be prepared for their resolve to be tested again in 2025. They ignored a strong inquiry from Bayern Munich last summer. Liverpool have been admirers in the past and big clubs across Europe continue to monitor his progress. Chelsea are under no pressure to sell, having secured the England international on a long-term contract in 2022. They have no desire to sell the academy graduate. Yet the weekly salary of around £100,000 no longer reflects his growing standing for club and country, especially as he is seen internally as a potential future captain. The club have also shown, not just since the Todd Bowley Clearly consortium took over in 2022, that they are willing to sell homegrown players because the fee can be counted as pure profit. So Liverpool have been admirers in the past. This is one of those players that is linked with us occasionally. But each time I've seen it come up of late, I've always thought it's lazy journalism. That was Simon Johnson. Now, finally, David Ornstein, with a player that every time I mention him, be it on a live stream or when his name crops up in a video, I always say this is one that I think you should monitor for any credible reporting. Not the Twitter twats, not the aggregators, not people just trying to generate clicks or interaction or farm engagement, but credible sources. So, if you see his name come up, look to see where it comes from. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever made a video specifically about this player, but I have mentioned him a lot. And he is one of the players that I am watching to see what happens with him. We're linked with players every day, right? Do you know what I mean? Some shitty links, some sound a bit more credible. This is one of those, that I would put in, like, say, 3 or 4 players that I'm monitoring on a regular basis. And that is Marmoush. I don't even think I told you his name, did I? The Eintracht Frankfurt, expects him to leave in the summer when he will have 2 years left on his contract. They would prefer not to lose him in January, but you never know what offers might land at the club. There is an anticipation that he will end up at a Champions League side. There is interest from Bayern Munich in Germany, Juventus and Napoli in Italy, and some of the Premier League's biggest clubs are set to join the race for the Egypt international, who is expected to cost around £33 million, £42 million, somewhere in that 30 upwards, 40-ish valuation. And that is from David Ornstein. He doesn't mention Liverpool in there, which surprised me. Now, you could look at that one of two ways. You could look at that and say, maybe he knows something, he's been said not to say anything, in terms of just keep it low key, or maybe he just hasn't heard anything to do with Liverpool. You know what I mean? For me, I pay more interest to Paul Joyce. I've got to be honest with you regarding the vibe from Anfield. I think with Ornstein, he is more FSG, the senior, management. But he does also have contacts with people that run the club on a day-to-day basis. Whereas Joyce at the Times is really just people that run the club on a day-to-day basis, close to Edwards. We assume he's now close to Hughes as well, obviously. And these two, over the years, it's either Ornstein or Joyce. They're up and down like that as to who's the best at the moment for covering Liverpool Football Club. They're the only two journalists that you need to ever pay attention to. Don't even ask in the comment, well, would you listen, because I'm telling you right now, they're the only two. They are the only two. From time to time, you might listen to Fabrizio Romano for a giggle, or if he's got something to do with, Chiesa, for example, Italian agents or Italian players and stuff. But, he's not a Liverpool FC journalist. And for me, Ornstein covers a lot, but Joyce is the main one. But Joyce and Ornstein, follow me. I'll keep you in the fucking loop with what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. But as always, I always tell you to make your own opinions up, all right? Form your own opinions. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's all I've got for you, really. I wanted to put some context around what was said yesterday. I mean, I saw one of these massive accounts yesterday say, can't believe Ornstein's mentioned these players. And it makes it sound like, oh, that's a short list of Liverpool players, but they were all mentioned with multiple clubs. Do you know what I mean? And the claims yesterday, two of those players in there, making it sound like Liverpool are just going for them, when really there was like 4 or 5 clubs. But these accounts, they drop it out. Do you know what I mean? They drop the names out. They don't give you the context. And the context is key when it comes to reporting about Liverpool Football Club. And that's how you determine who to trust and who not to trust. Because if you're seeing people make videos or post things on X or record podcasts that are just giving you an abbreviated sentence, which isn't how it was spoken or said, written, why are they doing that? Do you know what I mean? You need to trust more, or pay more attention to people that will give you the context. I will give you the context, you know what I mean? Because I'm not here to make it sound sensational or get your hopes up and shit like that. So yeah, that's it. But I don't just mean me. I'll try and do my best. But I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that will also put you right and say, it weren't just that was said. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, anyway, I think you know what I mean. I'm off. I'm going live on here at 1 o'clock UK time this afternoon. Okay, maybe I'll see you then. And I suspect I'll be around at some point this evening. If you appreciate, I sound a bit tired, don't I? I've just got this little chesty thing coming on again. I'm wondering if I'm going down with some. I fucking hope I are. I can't go through that again. Sorry. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment about any of the players mentioned in here. And if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee or a lemsip, please hit the love heart button, which is the thanks button. And if you don't see it, read the video description. There's 3 other methods in there you can support me, as well, of course, as becoming a channel member or a VIP member, which would make my Christmas. See you in a bit, guys.